What's going on, everyone? Michael from 3D Print Everything here, and today I am going to show you how to clean stringy parts and supports really easily with just 3 tools. So we're going to take a part that otherwise has a lot of supports on it. We're going to remove them real quick. We're going to take a part that has a lot of strings, and we're going to remove those. So first and foremost, we've got all these supports on the outside. We're going to use the welding pliers, and if you saw my last video, you know how useful those can be, or at least from what I said, so now you get to see them in action. So we're going to take all these and just peel them off real quick. Now on this print, I clearly did something different. So I printed this on a Kingroon KP3S, this one that I'm holding, and it printed it really nice. I didn't get any strings on it. The supports are actually a bit weak, which is useful because like weak supports don't really hold on too good. Which is good. It probably wouldn't be super useful if the supports went really tall. If they went larger than like 6 inches at these settings, the supports might fall apart, and that might not be good. But otherwise, for a short little part like this, it's just about perfect because they are just coming off really, really nicely. Now the other print did have supports, but I've already taken those off, at least most of them, but I'll show you some remnants. Okay, be careful not to actually damage the part. Let's see here, kind of poke these out. I've learned to not use your hands as much as possible because these plastic parts can be pretty sharp, so you don't want to hurt yourself. Now, I might actually think about using a 4th tool in this case. Just these little parts that are at the bottom of the supports here might be useful to use like a what do you call it, a scraper, you know, some sort of flat edge. But as we can see, even the welding pliers are probably up to the task. Well, yeah, I'd get a scraper in this case. So we're going to use 4 tools, and I might run over there and grab one. But that's the only thing where that gets difficult. So you still have this little brim on the edge here, right? Now the welding pliers can kind of get that up. If that's the only thing you got, it's good. But we have a deburr tool here, so we're going to take this deburr tool and just kind of run it along the edge there. And this part's warped, that's why I actually printed a second one. And I printed it on a second printer so that it could have a little bit more of a brim so that it would stick better. And sometimes it'll skip like that, and you got to try to go down it to get it all evened out. Sometimes it won't be super even, but it's better than having it stick out. So that's why I kind of default to that. So this one's otherwise pretty good, but we'd come back here with a scraper. Now on this one, clearly we want to get out as much junk as possible. Sometimes this happens. Generally it's related to your retraction settings. So we're just going to try to grab as much of this hair as possible and pull that out. Stringiness. Still a couple of supports in here. I think there's one right here. See, and this on this one, temperature settings were much hotter because the supports are really sticking to the base. So due to them sticking real hard, we got to work a little extra. But that's really nice because these have a really flat edge to them, so they can kind of get right up on a part if you need it to. Sometimes you might want to use like these little fine blue clippers to kind of clip that little support area flat. I mean, this is to like mount some electronics, so I'm pretty sure it's not going to matter if I don't even think this is for electronics. I don't remember what this is for, but it's a box, so you're probably mounting things in it. Oh, there's a little bit more right here. Okay, trim those supports. So in that case, I might needed to have checked my supports. I might have turned my support settings to have had the bottom layer gap, like, what is it? The supports to the part gap. If I'm intentionally printing something that I know the supports won't print on the part, and I want to do a raft, I can have the supports stick to the raft. And then when you pull the raft off, it'll generally pull the supports with it, and that's kind of useful. Another nice tool, I like just kind of taking the flat edge of this, being able to run it up against a part like this. Okay, so we've got most of the Harry's off of this, but clearly there's still quite a bit. So we'll kind of run this along here just a little bit, try to get a little bit more out. But we've got one more tool up our sleeve that'll just disappear 99% of these Harrys here. But we did need to, you don't want clumps of hair in here, so you need to get that out as much as you reasonably can. Got one little piece right here. This is one I'll actually deliver to the client, so I'm cleaning it like I would deliver it. Man, that's one little piece. There it is. Might just let him finish that out. Okay, so last tool we are going to use is a propane torch. So this one is quite nice because some of the other ones you have to like turn the gas on then ignite it. This one you can set your gas flow and then so I can change my gas flow on the fly, but whenever I pull the trigger it goes. Now we don't need a whole lot of heat. Sometimes the flash is nice, sometimes I'm just going over it like this. In this case we'll kind of do just the beginning of like a torch. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, and these parts are PETG, so they do have a little bit higher tolerance than PLA, but this applies to pretty much any material. If it's super small and hairy, it's just going to pretty much vaporize or then melt into the part. So it can make cleaning this really easy. And then what'll happen too is some of them, if they're long, they might ball up, they might detach or get crispy, and then you can simply run your fingers or the tool across it one more time and it'll get a handful more. Still be careful, I caught something a little sharp there. But yeah, you can get the last little bits off, and now we have a part that overall looks really nice, doesn't have any strings anywhere, and the part's not messed up otherwise. There are no like missing gaps. The retraction was probably just turned a little wrong for supports or something like that, or it wasn't retracting when it should have, but the part otherwise will serve its function and be good. So just to recap, 4 tools, potentially 5. Welding pliers, awesome. Nice little fine. Clippers, awesome. The deburr tool, awesome. And a torch, awesome. Those are the four tools, and a scraper. 5 tools I highly recommend if you want to be really successful and easy with removing the majority of your supports. And I recommend a chisel like this. That way if you ever need to beat on the end of it, you can. So the 5 tools that make a 3D printer's life really easy, all of those, chisel / scraper. This is like a scraper really, but a scraper with a metal end that you can smack on, because you can use this here, and this is how I use it, to smack on the back side of this. This works as a hammer as well. So bonus if you stayed to the end and learned that the welding pliers are also a welding hammer / tool. Very useful, guys. I highly recommend all 5 of these. If you don't have them, you can buy all of this, definitely under $100, probably under 60 to 70 if you buy it all from Amazon, get it delivered tomorrow. But super useful. We will see you in the next video.